Hello, this is a test of my voice.
Okay, and I'm testing as well. Shouting! Awesome.
That was incredible. It's like your research addiction. Ethan's mic testing addiction.
Kieran, I don't have a research addiction. I could stop anytime.
Hello and welcome to the Scrambled Checksum podcast, the world's most belligerent tech podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Kieran, a man who once sent several paragraphs-long emails to my local MP demanding to know their stance on adding government backdoors into encryption algorithms, and I'm joined by my stylish co-host, Ethan, a guy who once waged a several days-long war against HP over their hardware capabilities.
Yes, hello, my name is Ethan, and I can confirm that that is only somewhat fabricated.
It might have been longer. The fabrication might have been that you actually spent. It might have been weeks long because it was over like repairability, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. Well, it wasn't so much. It was more their refusal to provide certain components to me.
That was it.
Yeah, because they were apparently a non-user serviceable part. I can't even remember what it was. I feel like it was like a Wi-Fi module or something. It was something completely
It was not like
stupid. That like
it was easily accessible because you take. I remember you taking the keyboard out and it was like you could see the component.
Yeah, but they wouldn't give me one. They were like, oh no, well we can give you one, but only if an engineer comes out and fits it. And I was like,
that was it.
What? I think in the end how did I solve it in the end? I think I went and bought it from somewhere else. I think in the end,
Yeah, I think you managed to find another source for it, but you literally. I remember you waged like a days long.
Yeah. I was pissed.
They would come back to you and you were not having it. You just waged like a days long campaign against them.
Yeah. It annoys me. It's like why is it on them? Why is it on HP? Like if I want to attempt to fix and maybe break my own possession, or in this case the possession that is in my care, I guess. Why is it on HP to decide whether or not I can? They make the component. It clearly is available because I could elsewhere because I bought it from somewhere else. It was an official component. I just bought it through a different means.
And a human being must be able to do it because they're like, oh, we'll send an engineer out to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you know what? The freaking times we did have the engineers come out and they had to replace a screen on one of the laptops. Like, oh my god, I could have done it faster and in it, like, you know, it's not hard.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if I want to go out and like take a load of I don't know too much about how my car works, but like if I want to go out and take a load of parts off of it.
Yeah, if you break it, it's not on Hyundai, is it?
No, exactly. It's like if I want to go out and
I don't know if you want to it's too late now, I guess. I don't know if you want to disclose you drive a Hyundai.
I don't think it's hardly like a friggin' Bugatti.
Yeah, I drive a Toyota. There we go, we're even.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be like, wow, there's a Hyundai there. That's got to be Kieran from the Scrambled Checksum.
Yeah,
in fact,
there's not many Toyotas or Hyundais in the country, really.
No,
so,
if you do see a guy driving a Hyundai who looks like my little character here, please do go up and bang on the windscreen and talk about the Scrambled Checksum podcast and how much you like laser discs and.
Yeah. Just where's my laser disc?
Yeah, don't worry, it's guaranteed to be me. I promise you.
Where are my bitcoins? Where's Ethan?
Exactly.
Where are my bitcoins?
Yeah. There's a lot of scams we've run, so whichever one you've been the victim of.
Yes, yeah.
Just demand to know the outcome of that.
Yeah, and that should work a treat.
Yeah, exactly. Or demand to know up-to-date tech news from them, because if they don't give you any up-to-date tech news, if it's like 4 or 5 weeks out of date, you'll know it's definitely me.
Yeah, it's definitely us. I mean, I tend to be at least a month behind in my real life. I think it's as soon as someone mentions this podcast, I jump a month back in time in terms, but in the same.
Yeah, you lose track of the date.
Yeah, but it's like some kind of weird time hole sort of thing. In like only I jump back, but I'm still somehow present in your present time, which is still today, but I'm in like a month ago.
It's just interstellar, basically.
Yeah, it's just science, really, like quantum.
Yeah, exactly.
Quantum and stuff.
Speaking of being out of date on podcast topics,
okay.
I was embarrassed this week.
Okay.
Embarrassed at my out of dateness and my out of touchness with the world of tech.
Okay. This is based on your summary so far, I don't think this is the thing that I was thinking of.
Okay. Are you comfortable revealing what you think it is, or do you want me to just go into what it is?
I'll reveal it. I'll reveal it afterwards if I remember.
Okay, tell me after if it's what you think. So I was not aware of this at all, until my partner was talking to me about it, and I was like, wait, what? And she was just like, how have you not heard about this? What the hell? It's obviously I had to explain, here on the Scrambled Checksum, we're at least a month out of date. It wasn't quite that far back, but yeah, basically I was a bit embarrassed I hadn't heard about this, as someone who's enthusiastic about the tech world.
You were out-teched by a Samsung user.
you gotta stop with the Samsung, dude. You gotta. This isn't over. You've revealed what car you've got, and you're going on your crusade against Samsung again. You're gonna have problems, man. So the piece of tech news was that apparently the Metaverse, is no more.
Really?
So I have been told.
Oh, well, that is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've been informed that the Metaverse has been cancelled, shut down. Well, not shut down as such, but it's no longer going to be like the direction that they're going in.
Oh.
So yeah, I don't know if you'd heard about this. It is.
I hadn't.
There are news articles reporting this.
How recently is this?
I've seen articles from like late April.
Holy shit.
So yeah, there is whether it's like completely cancelled, but late April seems to be.
Because I know there were shareholders who weren't very happy about it, but because the Zuck is like the majority shareholder, he basically went, "Yeah, fuck you, it's my company."
Yeah, that was the last I'd heard. Apparently, it was more along the line. I don't think whether it's going to be like cancelled immediately. I don't think it's a case where they're saying it's shutting down next week or anything. I think it's more that they're like cancelling their future plans. I don't think they're just going to shut it down.
Okay. I was going to say,
but
I mean, like, what are all these people on LinkedIn going to do with their future careers now that the Metaverse isn't the future anymore?
Well, they'll just pivot to AI, dude.
Yeah.
And apparently that's
I guess
what
they all already did. They're all.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what it's come from. They've basically said like, oh, we kind of bet on the wrong tech here, so we're gonna like.
I don't think they did. Is that a hot
take?
Not?
That might be. Yeah. Well, it depends. Go on.
Like, I mean, I enjoyed hating on it because it's Facebook. Sorry, Meta.
And it looked like crap.
And it looked like crap. Yeah, it did look like crap. And I hated that Facebook were doing it, not like someone else, and that they were trying to go for this basically like we're going to be effectively like the next dominant force in the internet, kind of like the future Google, like But like I think there's absolutely a place in the future for that kind of technology where you can meet up with real people in virtual reality, but I don't think it necessarily will be in the form that they were. I don't think that. I think like the ideal, like when it hits mass market, I feel like there's got to be a convergence between lots of different pieces of tech where we can have we have the ability to easily import a realistic 3D model of ourselves into the metaverse, for want of a better way of describing it, rather than having to have an avatar, which I don't think we're necessarily miles away from being able to do, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then it's just then being able to like realistically animate that and have the tech to track all the facial movements and stuff be small enough, and I feel like it. I don't know. I feel like that's a potential thing that could happen in the future. I don't think.
I don't know.
I think maybe I don't think we're ready for it to be like replace all the physical. I hope it doesn't replace all the physical stuff, but I could see it being a thing.
I think he was just so brash with it, wasn't he? When Zuckerberg, he was so convinced.
Yeah,
he was so sure.
Like, yeah, look at our graphics that look even worse than the Nintendo Wii that came out in 2004.
Yeah, look at our massive player bases of like 36 concurrent users.
Oh, God.
So yeah, apparently it's not necessarily cancelled. I think the root of the story is that it's more that like it's not going to disappear, but I think it's more that they're maybe looking at scaling back how much, because they were spending so much on it, right? They were just like pouring resource into it, and I think it's like with all this AI hype, they've kind of they're kind of thinking that maybe they perhaps can't put all of their resources into this like one thing that no one really seems to like or care about.
Oh, yeah, actually, I'm just having a look now. I've just found a web article. Apparently, they're going to be investing all their money into their own large language model, and it's called Karen.
No, that's got to be fake.
No, I'm joking. I just made that up.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, what would Facebook if you made a large language model that got all its information just solely from Facebook?
Oh, that would be hell.
It would just be a Karen, wouldn't it?
I'd actually find that quite fun to like play around with in terms of like giving it prompts just to see like what the general consensus of Facebook is. But sorry, Meta. The thing is, they already went through all the trouble of like renaming their entire company, didn't they?
Yeah. Do you think they're going to rebrand it again?
I was wondering that, but like they can't, surely, right? They'll come up with.
I mean, what does Meta even mean though in the context? Like Meta doesn't mean like virtual reality communication, does it? That's not the definition of Meta. So I guess
it's just what they happen to call their because Metaverse sounds stupid anyway, doesn't it? I mean, that's what killed it. No one's ever going to be like, oh, I'm going in the Metaverse. You just sound like a complete tool, don't you?
Yeah. So Meta, adjective, making or showing awareness of reference to oneself or to the activities that is taking place, especially in an ironic or comic way.
I mean, they got that part right.
Self-referential at a higher level.
They got that right with how much they were like people were making fun of them for doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like it was never. I don't know. Anyone trying to pitch that for like any kind of business use as well. I feel like you just sounded ridiculous when you're talking about like
I can't see it being used in that its current or recent past form for business.
Oh, reach your users in the metaverse. Oh, well, can you imagine a serious professional turning up to a meeting like in those demos they did with their legless torso floating around?
They added legs. They did add legs.
They did, but it wasn't in everything.
No. But
not everything supported that.
Okay, devil's advocate. Yeah. So is the like having one of those like metaverse characters as your like physical presence, like avatar, I guess, in this virtual reality meeting space, how different is that to how like some companies will pay for a caricature artist to make a caricature of or like a cartoon of every employee and have that as their avatar for like their email and like.
I think it's very different. The reason being that like that's kind of a fun, hey look, we're an approachable, fun-loving company. But to me, like, I just imagine it as though you're trying to have, like... So imagine you're in this business meeting, in your floating, weird-looking facsimile of you, and then you're trying to discuss something deadly serious as your, like, dead-eyed character stares off into the distance. Or someone's trying to, like, I don't know, solve a serious problem, or...
I think it did actually track facial expressions, though, didn't it?
It did, but, like, it's the fact that it's so static. It's like if someone's trying to put across the... I say... I've just realised, as I'm saying all this, that I am staring back at myself with naught but a mouth part moving up and down.
Yes,
representing...
pot kettle.
So I think the idea is great. I think let's go full steam ahead with it.
Right. Damage control.
Yeah, I think we're going to do the opposite, and we're going to pivot towards the metaverse, and move the scrambled checksum completely onto that.
We'd like to announce that we have bought all rights to the trademarks and intellectual property of the metaverse.
Yep, all future episodes will be
they'll be called the Meta Checksum. And
this is our new tech demo for the Scrambled Checksum Metaverse
as
edition.
You can see, hyper
looks a lot better.
Yeah,
looks a lot better than what theirs
does. like,
Yeah,
unreal.
it doesn't look as. I feel like it doesn't look as creepy.
Yeah,
It's not as uncanny valley.
I don't know. Yeah, it isn't as. Well, I don't even know. Did Uncanny Valley even apply to their? Maybe in the movements, I guess.
I think it's just because they looked a bit like they looked like a more realistic, because Mii's aren't creepy looking. Well, they can be. I mean, people do weird stuff with them, but Mii's in and of themselves, I don't think have that like creepiness about them because they look cartoonish enough that you don't have the uncanny. I think it is a bit uncanny valley on the Metaverse ones.
Yeah.
Some of the demos they did with Mark, especially that one, but he's kind of uncanny
just
valley
weird
himself.
anyway, though. Like, because like in real life, his face just like doesn't.
Maybe it is just really good, and they just have the wrong. Maybe they just need to get Steve Ballmer in to jump around and demo it in that way.
developers.
Yeah. They can bring across his like sweaty armpits and.
Oh
and
no! They need to get Craig Federighi. That's who they need to get. You know, the Apple.
Which one's he?
The Apple dude with the quiff and like the great Silver Surfer quiff.
I feel like he relies too much on their fancy camera movements, so doesn't he, at the keynotes?
I don't know. He's got energy though. He's like all the like Apple fanboys like.
He's pretty trendy, isn't he?
Well, I wouldn't know, but like, yeah, I think he's like the cool face of Apple kind of because
he's got the look. Because
like Tim Cook's kind of not as wooden as Mark Zuckerberg, but you know he's not exactly charismatic, is he?
He doesn't like it, does he? You can tell that he doesn't enjoy.
Did you see that clip of him waving the flag at the Grand Prix in, was it Florida?
Oh, he was with the checkered flag.
Yeah, in 2022.
It was bizarre.
Like it
was like he'd never seen a flag before.
I know. It's just kind of like, why did they get him to do it? He's like the most unenthusiastic person to be. Like, could they have picked someone who gave less of a shit about anything to do with cars? Like,
it's also like, could they not have shown him at least what to do? So, like, was there not? They must have publicists for him, right, and PR people. Yeah. Could one of them not have like taken him aside for 5 minutes and been like, Tim, this is how you wave a flag,
and this is how you look happy. Like, he
like,
just looked miserable. It's like, just like, why am I here? Kind of like.
Yeah, it's like no one had told him anyone was going to have a camera on him at the time.
Oh no.
Yeah, I did see that one. But yeah, so saying about the dead-eyed characters, I was saying like, imagine, you're in like a business meeting, or you're in like a serious discussion, and you're trying to solve like a serious problem that's like it's kind of crunch time. And then you've got this, like, I don't know, it just feels a bit weird having these, like, not floating, assuming you're on one of the apps that supports it. I don't know, it feels a bit weird that you've got this, like, bizarre... Because why would you not just have a webcam? I don't understand the point.
Is a webcam any better, though?
Well, yeah, because you can see people's facial expressions, like their real facial expressions, and you can see their hands moving realistically, and it's a person. They don't just have like a...
But then it also has drawbacks in that it doesn't feel like they're right in front of you.
It doesn't, but then I don't think it does in the Metaverse either.
I don't know, never tried it.
I have never tried it either, but I think seeing one of... If you imagine like sitting across from one of our characters, just like a mouth going like up and down, I don't think you'd feel like they were actually there. Of course, your audio setup is of such high quality, it feels like you're right here in the room.
yeah.
Must be all those mic checks.
With my £40 condenser mic.
It's all those mic checks that you do, I think.
Yeah,
you really get it dialed in.
It doesn't just warm up my diaphragm, it warms up the microphone diaphragm as well. That's science.
But anyway, I'm glad I wasn't the only one that hadn't heard that news. I did feel a little bit embarrassed that I was that behind with...
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't know about it, to be honest, because I religiously watch Tech Linked.
I guess maybe because it's not cancelled yet as such. It's not nothing's shutting down. Everything's kind of like the status quo still, but it's just.
I would have thought
and
it
then
would
they had to
made
stop
it
at some point.
The butt quacks. Yeah, quick bits.
That's true.
Maybe.
But yeah, they never. I don't know. It's maybe
not that I'd like to question the accuracy of information coming from a Samsung user, but
Oh. Well,
although to be fair to me, I am being hypocritical because, as we all know, Linus himself from Linus Tech Tips uses a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3.
Yeah.
So
And you did say vote with your wallet.
he did.
In a previous episode, you did say vote with your wallet. And
I've said that. Yeah.
Samsung is not Apple.
Yeah, Unreal, I actually don't have anything against Samsung users. I don't have anything against Apple users, really, to be honest. I have something against blind fanboy / fanaticism, I guess is the best way to say it. Yeah, blind fanaticism.
And I have nothing against the Metaverse. Again, characters like these ones on screen right now with the little up and down, they look amazing. I think it's the future, really.
It is. Why have 3 dimensions when you could have 2?
Yeah, exactly. Nice and flat.
Declutter your life.
Yeah, simplify your expressions. Nice and easy to tell what you really mean.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we're missing. Maybe we can provide our character service as like a thing for business.
We could, yeah.
So you could go to like a company and say, do you want us to draw little characters of all your exec team and make their mouths go up and down like this?
Totally didn't spend hours using DALL-E 2 for inspiration.
That was pretty much a waste of time, though.
It was, to be fair. I mean, they'd pretty much been redesigned completely.
The results were so creepy.
Yeah, maybe once we finally get verified, say we can post community posts. Maybe I'll post some picture the original concept art for our characters.
That
DALL-E 2 came up with, and then you can decide for yourselves how the final result it is.
Yeah, say whether or not we're derivative, and at least it's not. At least you can't say that it stole someone's art style, because I don't think anyone has that art style.
No, I think the only art style it was spilling a can of paint. I think
it was creepy.
Yeah, I don't know. I have got one of them set as your picture in my contacts on my phone.
Oh no, mine were even worse.
I'll show you after we finish recording. I'll show you which.
Yeah, look out for the community post about that. Yeah. So I understand you had a tirade to go off on this week. Not a tirade, actually.
Not a tirade. It was more just kind of some experiences that I've had over the last week or so. Before we do that,
I feel like you've really grown as a person by saying that.
I have grown as a person, Kieran. I'm a whole new man.
It's some experience I've gone through this week. I've learned a lot. I said a lot of stuff about Samsung users that was wrong, and I've learned a lot this week.
I've learned that was wrong, and I've been humbled by the experience.
You made a series of whatever it was, miscalculations.
Yeah, it's totally nothing.
Repeated errors.
Yeah, it's.
So what have you learned this week? How have you grown?
Before I go into that, I just want to quickly. This might throw us off on a tangent, or it might not. I wanted to just say what I thought you were going to bring up.
I forgot completely. Yeah, what do you think I was going to bring up?
It's technically tangentially related to tech.
But
did you see that Linus, the one and only Linus Sebastian, is stepping down?
No, I missed that one.
The video came out this morning, so I
Oh yeah, I know. I haven't even looked. I haven't even looked at YouTube. Yeah. Dang.
He's
stepping
as CEO.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so not going to be in videos.
He's going to be in videos still.
Sorry, yeah, it's going to be in videos, but just not going to be
the CEO. Yeah, but he is going to be the CVO.
Is he giving himself like a? Is it like chief energy off?
Chief Vision Officer. That is his official new title.
Really?
Yeah. And we're not going to say why that's significant because, but Kieran knows.
It's like, wow, good. I mean...
I was just like, oh. Okay.
Well,
no.
I think, have they implemented any other changes without going into too many specifics?
I'm sure they'll... live long.
I'm
sure they'll live long and prosper.
Yeah, they haven't adopted a particular business plan, have they, or a way of doing things?
No, I'm sure they haven't. I don't worry about it. I think it.
Okay, that's not really, okay. So they're not going to be. I don't need to. If people who have got LTT store orders don't need to be concerned.
No, I don't think so. Anyway,
no, okay, that's it.
Moving swiftly on.
He's stepping down.
But yeah, he's stepping down, and for real, that is his new title.
Wow. Dang, so is it because he didn't want to do the business stuff anymore, or did you just feel that they'd gotten too big?
Both, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of coming, wasn't it, after the meme video?
I wasn't at all surprised. I was a bit kind of like, oh god, I've got to watch this right away, because I was like slightly concerned that it was going to be like I'm not going to be in videos again, but I didn't think.
How hard did they go on the clickbait? I know every time I know I've heard the reasoning as to why they do it, and I get it. But I know when they first publish on YouTube, they have the clickbait title, then they change it, don't they, to like the regular title?
Yeah.
Was it like I'm going away forever or something like that?
No, it was
or like
it was literally I'm stepping down.
I guess that's. I mean, it doesn't need to be much more clickbait, does it, than that?
Yeah, I'm stepping down. ... It's time. Waving his hand. To be honest, I've got to be honest. Like I'm not a very good judge, particularly for Linus Tech Tips and a few other channels. I'm not a great judge of whether something is clickbait, because there's certain channels, Linus Tech Tips being one of them, where I'm just going to watch the video, whatever the title or thumbnail is, because I just always watch every video that comes out. So I'm kind of like blind to the clickbait.
I think some channels as well, they use it in a way that's... It's not... Because I think, to me, true clickbait is when what you say is a complete... Not a complete lie, but like almost like it's mostly a lie. So if he'd put... It would be something like if he put, I'm stepping down, ... and then the video started with him on a stepladder, and then he stepped down from that, and then just went into a video about something unrelated, which I think other channels would do that kind of title, right?
That would not be cool. But
no, that to me is clickbait. But I feel like making them kind of and they do change them, don't they? I think they do upload them with the clickbait, and then after however many days they change them to something a bit more descriptive.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, unlike us, which, at the Scrambled Checksum, where we
just keep the clickbait.
We keep the clickbait. Although I think we have kind of like we've never gone with a title that has absolutely nothing to do with anything we talk about in there.
No, maybe it's time to start.
Maybe. What should we title this episode?
Let's call it.
I'm stepping down.
Oh my god! Oh, I got it. The new LTT CEO. ...
Unfortunately, they already announced who that is. But some people might not have watched that far in the video.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
Is it
then.
you or me?
I think you, because I haven't watched enough of the videos.
Exclusive interview with Linus Sebastian.
Yeah, I could be interviewed. Yeah. Or it could be like the truth about Linus stepping down.
Yeah.
And then we could say that you were like a former employee.
Yeah, totally.
Something like that.
Yeah. It turns out he's actually abusive to me. Yeah, he was very abusive.
I still think one of the best videos he ever did was the April Fool's one, where it was the joke was that he hated tech.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah. Hashtag Linus.
Yeah. And the fact that he was there like reciting like Core i5, Core i7, Core i9.
Yeah. That one was brilliant. I think it didn't quite top the one they did where they pretended the server room was on fire.
Oh, the break-in one too. Was an April Fool, wasn't it? Was like Channel Super Fun.
I don't know. It might have been both. I'm not sure, but that was really good. But I think that for me, as like I say, I've been a religious LTT viewer since I was like 15. So yeah, a long time. And so for me, like at the time, I was kind of like following all the stuff, and I'd like read comments and stuff, and a lot of people were ribbing them in the comments about this insulation that they put in the server room to like soundproof it.
Oh, that was going to catch fire.
Yeah, it was going to catch fire. So when that April Fool's thing came out, like, oh my god, it was just so brilliant. I can't remember. Like, I was laughing so hard. It was brilliant. Like, I didn't actually realize it was April Fool's straight away, and then I was kind of like, oh, hang on. And then
so here's what we do.
Yeah.
We build an exact replica of their server room from that era.
Yeah.
But then we actually we burn it to the ground, and then we say that it caught fire on its own because of the insulation.
Yeah. And that they use CGI to cover it up.
Yeah, and imagine that thumbnail, like a burning. I don't know. It'll have to be in your house because
LTT to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's the clickbait.
Nailed it. Cool.
Nice. Yeah, I hadn't heard that topic, but yeah, what was your actual?
So well, a few things have happened to me this week.
You've burned down a server room.
I burnt down a server room. Yeah, I forced
You've
Linus.
stepped up a
I
CEO.
forced Linus's at gunpoint to give me the CEO position at LMG.
Yep, you've become a CEO.
Yeah, and I told him that he cannot carry on using a Samsung because it's just an embarrassment to the entire company.
And I've heard that you're cancelling the WAN show.
Yeah, I am because it's just too much of a liability.
Yeah.
It's just
Luke's been fired.
Yeah.
Float plane going onto the metaverse.
Yeah, float plane was just a failure, as everyone always said. So it's not going anywhere. No. Well, the first thing. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to necessarily say all of these, but one thing that I did do say. So you won't know, dear listeners and viewers, but I recently relocated to a different city, and I've been there for a few months, and I found myself this week kind of going, I really feel like I need to meet some people other than like people I work with, and just kind of get out there. But I was kind of, I don't drink, so like I don't like go to bars, and I'm not the kind of person who's kind of like, oh yeah, I'll just go to a club on my own or something. And I don't really feel like it's a great place to meet people anyway.
I feel like as well, if you don't drink, a club will be the worst place to go. Or do you mean like a social club, like a club for a thing?
No, I was meaning the club that you went with on the first one. Well, believe it or not, I have never once drunk a drop of alcohol in an actual as in that kind of club.
Have you ever had a good time at that kind of club?
Every time.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
I've never had a good time at a club.
Have you not? You've probably been going to the wrong clubs.
No, I can't think of any.
And with the wrong people, maybe, as well.
Well, I should say I've never had a good time. Because I've had good time. I've been with people that I like at a club, like friends of mine. But I've never been there and had a time that was good because of the club. The club was never a factor. It was always like I could have probably had a better time not there.
I think you've maybe not been to any. Yeah, I think the only clubs that I'm not saying like any club I'd be like that, but like there's one in particular, I'm not going to name, but that I'm just. It's probably quite different to most clubs, but the music that they play there and stuff is what makes it, and just the atmosphere, and you just get such a variety of people in there as well. Like all ages, lots of different backgrounds and stuff, and but on a night when there's just a really good DJ in there, can't beat it.
There you go. So it sounds like that would be the ideal solution for you in that case. But you've been looking for social clubs.
Yeah. So I thought I was racking my brains. I was thinking okay, what are things that I like doing? I like walking, but I couldn't find any local walking groups that weren't just full of old people. And
what's wrong with old people?
Nothing, but I want to meet people my age, not not older people.
Okay, I understand.
Not that there's anything wrong with being older than I am, obviously.
Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't. I forget that you're older than me, to be honest, Kieran.
Ethan doesn't want to spend time with geriatrics like me anymore.
Yeah, I mean, once you hit 30,
it's pretty much a downhill thing, isn't it? There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't.
So your walking groups were no go. Yeah. What else have you tried?
And I wasn't. I don't know. I was just kind of I was looking for just social groups, and I was like, I know. Actually, maybe I should try and think. Okay, where could I find a large gathering of nerds?
So like a hackerspace.
No. So this is maybe slightly off-brand for me, but what I did is I googled. I was googling socials, and then you
got to be careful with what you're googling with that kind of thing.
Yeah, and then I found quite a lot of socialist meetups.
Just to clarify, you don't have to be careful because you might find a socialist meetup. That's all good. It's more on the sense of let me think. Big hot nerd gathering.
Yeah. 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 So anyway, I was thinking okay, what? So I searched for board game cafe, and then I found one, and they do a social evening once a week.
That's cool.
So I decided to go along, And
dude, props for putting yourself out there for real.
yeah, and it was actually really good. It was really good.
Nice.
I'm not really big on the whole board game thing, to be honest. I don't know. I find, but I think I don't know why.
I assume you didn't go there and were like, oh, bloody hell, what's this? Some kind of board game evening? This is shit. I hate board games.
Yeah, I kind of went into it with an open mind because and we were
Nice.
playing. Oh god, though, like you know when you think board game, I think like, oh, okay, like, you know, I don't know, Monopoly, Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, that's all in the past.
Kind of those sorts of things. But like this,
Yeah.
the one we ended up
Get
playing.
up to date, Grandpa.
I think, what was it called? It was, I can't remember the name. It was like, it began with a P, but I can't remember what it was. But basically, it's like this strategy kind of game where you've got, it's based in 1840, and you're in Afghanistan, and basically you've got Russia, Britain, and then the Afghans, and they're all fighting for territory within Afghanistan, and you effectively each player is like a tribe, and you win by basically picking the winning side between Russia, Britain and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Kind of. And oh my god, it was so bloody complicated. Like I was just so like they like, this is the problem I always have with board games, is I just, you know, when I start off in earnest, like trying to, like, right, I'm going to listen to the rules, I'm going to take it all in, but I just zone at some point. I can't help it. At some point I just zone out.
It's too much. I think you got to, like, because I've done this with a few board games, and I think you have to almost read the rules but not try too hard to take any of it in, just kind of get the basics of, like, how the turns work and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think you need to play, like, at least, like, 2 games of it, just as, like, a write-off, like, not for competition, and just say to it. That's where you kind of need, like, a group of people who are gonna help you through it, where you can be like, hey guys, I've got these cards, or I've got these pieces, I'm thinking of doing this, is that a stupid move? And they can go like, oh yeah, that's a bad idea because I'm going to do this. I was just
starting to get to just about have a grasp of what was going on in the game towards the end. And just for context, I think, what time? So I got there at about 7.
Yeah.
And I left at 10:30. Or no, about 10. So we were playing for like 3 hours.
Yeah, that's like,
and that was just one game.
Yeah.
But it was really good fun. Like the people I was playing with, they were top chaps, and they kind of just like welcomed me in as if, like, you know, it was really nice. I was kind of at first I was kind of like, you know, maybe it's going to be awkward, but they just kind of, you know, they welcomed me in, and then it turned out I parked in the same place as 2 of them, so I walked back to the car with them, and
thank God it wasn't like you didn't have the moment where you came out and they said bye, and then you realise that you're both going the same direction.
No, thankfully they were like, oh, which way are you going? And I was like, I was like, oh, I'm going to this car park, and they were like, oh, that's where we're parked as well. We'll with you.
Otherwise I would have you'd never been able to go back otherwise, would you?
Oh God, yeah, that was, yeah, but we just talked and kind of, yeah, it was, and it turns out they all met at that social evening.
Oh, anyway. Perfect. And it's like, it's nice that they were like that, because I think it's kind of, I know not all of them, some of them were really good, like the one you've experienced, but I know sometimes those kind of events can end up turning into a bit of a, like, exclusionary group.
Yeah.
Where if you're new, you're not going to have a good time because you're not, I don't know, you're not already an expert at everything.
Yeah. Yeah. But
so it's really cool they were so welcoming.
Yeah, it worked quite well. I think they'd only played that game once before as well. Which probably helped a little bit, but yeah.
They're like having, you'd go into, I imagine if you went to like the World Championships of that game.
Yeah, I think.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah, but they've even invited, they all have joined an ultimate frisbee team together as well, and they were like, oh yeah,
dude, what the hell?
You could come along to that if you want. And I was like,
you'll be like Marquez.
I would, yeah. Well, yeah. I don't think I don't think I'm ever going to be as cool as Marquez, but
Marquez is like, wasn't he like world level?
oh, he still
Like,
is. He's like a professional.
He's international skill of ultimate frisbee.
He's like not even like just like he's actually like really good. So
yeah, I know he was on like, wasn't he on some kind of, I don't think it's in the Olympics, but wasn't he on some kind of like international team for that?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
You're gonna have to find a new thing, I'm afraid, dude, because you've got like Linus has got badminton.
Yeah.
Marquez has got ultimate frisbee, so you're gonna have to not go to that. I'm afraid that's already taken.
But badminton seems like, I don't know. I quite like badminton. It's nice and easy.
I like badminton too, but this is just the reality. It's been claimed. What about Laser Quest? I feel like there's
a sport?
people.
Does that count as a sport?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like it's kind of fallen out of fashion now. I don't know if you can still go to it.
No,
it still
you
exists.
can. It definitely does. Yeah, it definitely does.
Have they updated the tech, or is it still?
Probably not.
Has that moved with the times?
Probably not. I wouldn't have thought.
Because like, surely they must have. I don't know. There must have been improvements. I mean, you can buy those lasers off of eBay.
Oh, I know.
You know the ones that are...
I know what I would love to try, actually, on the subject of Laser Quest and stuff.
You could do realistic, those dangerous lasers, Laser Quest.
No.
It's one round, and like the lasers at that point, you're basically
you're out when you have a hole burned through your skin.
Yeah, it's just the Hunger Games at that point, really, isn't it?
Yeah, not.
Yeah, what was your idea?
So
That's not the best.
But
not that.
no, there are these cool experiences. It's not like a sport, but it's kind of like Laser Quest combined with, I guess, like CS:GO. So
like paintball.
No, better than paintball because it doesn't hurt. In my opinion, some
Laser
people
Quest
like that. Are you pro or paintball, or are you a?
I have problems with paintball, specifically because I am of the bespectacled persuasion, and I can't wear contacts. So I spend about 5 seconds shooting my paintball thing, then I fog up horrendously, can't see a thing. So it's either I go in and I can't see a thing from the get-go because I've not got my glasses on, or I go in and I can see for a few seconds, then they fog up. And I have no way of like defogging them because I can't take off the mask while you're in there because they'll kick you out.
I need to make you some windscreen wipers.
Yeah, well they put that spray in there, don't they? And they say it's like it'll stop them fogging, stop the lens. I know it never works.
Yeah.
So yeah, I tried it. I've been paintballing twice, and every time, I just kind of run around like not really. I can't really see.
Me. I've been once. I hated it.
It wasn't my favourite activity in the world. I just didn't really feel like I was doing anything.
Yeah.
I just kind of shot the paintballs off into, like, whenever I saw someone. I think I probably hit someone on my own team as much as I did on the other team.
Yeah, I think I hit one person at one, but I spent most of the time just sat on the bench, covered in bruises and regret. Like, because I got shot pretty much instantly every time.
I don't know if they did it at your paintball thing, but at ours, they finished it as like a grand finale. Because most of the games that we did were you got hit once and you were supposed to go.
Yeah.
Like walk out.
Yeah, same with.
But then at the end, they did one where it was like you only went out when you couldn't take the pain anymore.
Oh yeah, we didn't do that.
Yeah, so we finished it with one of those.
Oh my god.
And that got brutal.
Yeah.
Like, because you can just stay in as long until it had like a timer. I think you couldn't just stay there all night.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Some people
like a week later, and people are camping out in the paintball arena.
It's my last bullet. All right, I'm saving this one for something special.
It's been 3-4 weeks since I came into here.
I've spent my entire life savings on paintballs. I've only got one left.
They've written someone's name on each of the paintballs for like the one other person that's left.
Yeah. This is for my boss, Steve.
Yeah. They're like, please, Steve's just outside, like, please come out.
No.
We're worried about you.
Never.
I'm going to get revenge on you, for you, Steve.
You'll never take me alive.
I'm going to make them pay, Steve, for what they did to you. So yeah, your alternative that was like Laser Quest, but didn't involve getting, spending days in a field getting revenge.
So there's
little paintballs.
There's these places. I don't know of any in the UK, but I know there's some in the US, where basically they set up an obstacle course, but then it's combined with room scale VR, but then more than one person. So basically everyone's wearing a VR headset.
Oh my god, that sounds like... how do you not run into each other?
Well, because you can see each other. It's all tracked. But you
Oh, so you just rely on seeing people in the VR?
Yeah.
So someone takes the VR headset off, someone's gonna like slam into them and like shoulder charge them.
I don't know. I don't know the details, but basically the God, I love how you instantly go into this. Is supposed to be cool, Kieran. God damn it! Why do you have to ruin everything?
Well, I'm just imagining that, like, you put the VR headset on. Like, can you imagine the chaos if, like, people are doing this obstacle course and then you just put your VR headset on, like, a stick on top of a remote control car and then just, like, drove it around in between them?
It's like a way more problematic version of when people, like, cover up all the sensors on their vest in Laser Quest.
Oh, yeah, don't get me started on that. I got a real problem with that.
Oh, God,
yeah, I was robbed of a Laser Quest victory on my friend's birthday because someone did that.
God,
it's an absolute joke.
It almost makes me want to resort to physical violence. I should probably
I've seen people resort to physical violence over that at Laser Quest.
Well, I can't laser you, so
yeah, well, but I'll club you.
Freaking throw you off the tower at the top.
I've seen someone hit with the butt of a plastic rifle by a German exchange student.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Because they were covering their laser detector.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you run around this obstacle course. It sounds like great fun.
Yeah. So it's basically in your head, you're running around in this, like maybe like actual war zone or something, but really it's just a load of like cardboard boxes or something. But you mean like you can actually touch the wall. You can like when you're crouching behind something, you can actually like lean against it in real life and everything. And
it's a bit like an FPS, like you said, like CS:GO. Then like an FPS, but you have like was it laser guns?
I imagine, let's say, but yeah.
It's real guns.
No, it's laser guns, but obviously then it in game it's like like real guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like that's actually like the perfect application for VR at the moment, without us having like the ability to have suits that kind of replicate physical touch and things like that, and
that is really cool, actually.
And like the trackball.
Sorry. Yeah, that would be really cool as well, actually. On like,
be serious here, Kieran. I don't need.
Yeah,
I don't
sorry.
need
Yeah,
your
very
dirty
serious
mind.
point. Yeah. That would be really cool as well, because it's the kind of experience where I feel like the metaverse stuff is just worse than going out and seeing someone. Whereas that provides like a unique experience that you couldn't really do. You couldn't really do otherwise. That kind of Laser Quest, which is kind of It's not the best.
Cool. So I'd really like to give that a go. I don't know whether that really counts as sport. I guess it kind of is. I guess you do. It doesn't
really matter if it counts as a real sport. It's
do a lot of running
around.
It's
fun,
and stuff, wouldn't you? I guess.
Yeah, it's good exercise. You meet like-minded people.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's on the same level as badminton and ultimate frisbee.
Well, it would be like high tech.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be about stepping away from the tech, Kieran. Like being connected with the physical world, touching grass, all that stuff.
Yeah, my thing on that respect, not that I play it, but I'd like to at some point in the very near future.
I think
hopefully.
about maybe trying it.
Yeah, my sport's cricket, so
Oh yeah.
There's not much danger of that when you think about all the tech YouTubers.
No, it's a very safe sport, obviously, as well. No, like large projectiles, like at high.
No
speed.
heavy ball coming at you at high speed.
Yeah, no problems for people with glasses there.
To be fair, there's no problem because your helmet doesn't have like a visor that will fog up.
Yeah.
There are professional cricketers who wear glasses.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, one of them's from the same place as me.
Oh well, there you go. Is it Stephen Merchant?
No.
I mean, he wears glasses as well. So
he does. Yeah, we're the same person, but sound the same.
Sound the same. Both from the same place. Yeah, same height. Yeah, probably roughly.
Yeah.
Wear glasses.
There you go. Yeah, me and Stephen Merchant just.
I mean, I've never seen both of you in the same room at the same time. So.
No, exactly. So yeah, you've been going out there into the real world. You've been enjoying it.
Yeah. So I'm going to go again next week.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to make it a regular. And I don't know. I might get into board games. I'm still not like super into board games, but I feel like it's the social side of it.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say I still think you could get really into programming, but then I was like, that's the exact opposite actually of what you were looking for.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking for hobbies. I've got plenty of hobbies. I'm looking for the problem with most of my hobbies is they're not very social.
Why don't you start a new hobby that involves you looking at a screen for hours on end?
Yeah.
By yourself.
Yes, because that's what I need. That's.
You could become a contributor to an open source project.
yeah, no.
You could submit features, and then get
I could be
absolutely
like,
shot down for not following the like
I could be like
code quality guidelines.
I could be like Chris Titus. Have you seen that guy?
Oh, I feel like I've heard his name.
Chris Titus, you definitely have. I've shared videos of his with you. He's well, he's not. I was going to say he's the Linux guy, but he's not the Linux guy because he's the everything guy. Like he's just like really in depth, has like really in depth knowledge of Windows, Linux, and Mac OS.
What's the sport that he plays though?
I don't know.
What's his niche?
Sitting in a room full of large amounts of tech and saying that the best thing to do is like you don't want to virtualize gaming in Linux. What I do is I just have a separate bare metal Windows computer and I pass it through into my Linux bare metal one, and I only ever use this bare metal Windows one for gaming, and then I only ever use this Mac Mini for editing, and then I use Linux for everything else.
Oh God!
Because he lives in the practical real world.
just run separate computers for everything.
Yeah. It's like the opposite for where I want to have one computer that does everything instead of like.
This is my phone that I use for phone calls, and this is distinct from the one that I use for messaging.
Yeah. Like I currently, I mean, I love computers and stuff, but I feel like I have too many computers. I want the Framework 16. It cannot come soon enough.
Yeah, you're going to simplify your life.
Yeah, I'm like.
So have you done the other socializing? Sorry, in the
no, not really socializing. I did have some another experience this week though that was kind of cool. I got voluntold to go on a emergency first aid training course.
Oh, not as in like. So I misunderstood you there for a second, and when you said I got voluntold to go on a emergency first aid course, I thought it was like there was someone in the place where you work.
Oh, quick! They've got an injury.
Badly hurt, and they're like,
Ethan on this.
They're like, oh crap, Ethan, you need to watch this YouTube video.
Yeah, I went on.
We've got your Skillshare.
Yeah, I went on Skillshare and I looked up how to put on a plaster.
Hurry up. Yeah. Hurry up, this guy's not going to make it.
No, but I'm now a qualified emergency first aider.
You're a better man than me. That's a really good skill to have, honestly.
It is, yeah. I hope I never have to use it.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't in the sense of, someone's there at death's door and they're like, Ethan, hurry up and learn.
Yeah. I mean, oh, God.
Read this poster we put on the wall in 1999 about how to put someone in the recovery position.
Yeah, I do know how to do that now, though.
It's a really valuable skill, actually. Do they have the torso?
Oh, what yeah, I called mine Jeremiah.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, because
why did you do that?
Because it felt like a name that no one else would pick.
Okay, was that a big part of this, getting to name the torsos?
No, it wasn't, but I felt like it needed a name. It
encouraged
me to save it more.
Yeah, did they ask you to give them a name, or was that just something you kind of...
No, I think they actually, if anything, they probably actively encouraged not naming them, but...
do you still have the torso in your possession, or did that go back to its rightful owner?
Oh god, they're kind of creepy though, because the faces, it's all for sanitary reasons. The faces are all removable, so they can wash them, and they remove it has like this little airbag inside it as well for when you're doing the resuscitation.
Yeah, I never seen one up close, but even from a distance, they look a bit weird.
Yeah, they are. Oh, yeah.
So, just to confirm, the torso went back.
Yes.
The torso didn't come home.
It didn't. Although I was the last person to take it back after. Everyone kind of... I got distracted because I was kind of... two of my colleagues were with me. They also did the emergency first aid course.
Were the colleagues people, or were the colleagues also torsos?
No, they were people, but I was like... animating the jaw and kind of we were discussing it, and then I realized everyone else had already put theirs back, and then the trainer had already carried on with the next bit, so I just had to put Jeremiah in front of me for a bit, and then
did Jeremiah speak to you at all?
Yes, he told me that everyone else in the room was nasty, terrible people, and that they didn't deserve to leave. Yeah,
that sounds about right. Did you
did
you form any kind of connection with Jeremiah? Or was
I did.
Just...
I think I'm going to see him again, actually. In fact, I met him at the board game evening, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, the board game night, was that a place were they people?
It was actually just me and Jeremiah, actually.
Yeah, and
no one else turned up.
Yeah, were the people at that, were they, the people playing Ultimate Frisbee, were they also resuscitation training tools, or were they?
No, they were all defibrillators, actually.
Oh, excellent!
Yeah.
Well, I think this getting out thing's really working well for you.
You're
making new friends.
learning how to made friends with a resuscitation dummy. So moving up.
So yeah, how was it? How did you find it in terms of learning with Jeremiah?
It was. I don't know. It wasn't what I expected, to be honest. Shout out to St John's ambulance. They're the people who did facilitated the training. And oh
Nice.
my god, the two people that we had, they were so good, and they were really funny and just kind
I was
of.
going to say, yeah, you need a good trainer, don't you? Because if it's someone that's just like, next, you're going to take your dummy.
Yeah. Honestly, like
It
one
is.
of them is like he could have a separate career as an actor. He was just like he was like full up on he was so good. Like just like he turned everything, even like the most serious topic he had as in stitches.
Even when you were saying your teary
needle and he was
goodbyes.
just sewing us up. No.
Even when you were saying your teary goodbyes to Jeremiah for the
Yeah.
final time,
Yeah.
he made it fun.
I was crying mostly with laughter.
Yeah, a little bit of real tears.
Yeah.
So yeah, you enjoyed that. Was there any? Did you get to use any of the tech that they use for like? Did you get to use a defibrillator?
No, they demonstrated
Or is that a bit
how
advanced?
to use a defibrillator, but I didn't get to use one. But I did. They did give us some pretty shocking statistics.
Oh no.
So if someone requires resuscitating, which is basically means their heart stopped and they're not breathing.
Yeah.
What do you think the percentage chance that you will, by doing resuscitation, actually restart their heart, and then they will subsequently be able to go to hospital, and then they will, survive and come out of hospital?
Oh, I think this is really low. I'm going to say 10%.
Lower.
Lower. Is this? Do they specify whether it was just any old person trying, or is this like someone who's had training?
No, this is just on average, just of if someone has to be resuscitated.
It's got to be like low single digits, then like 2%.
Lower.
Lower. Dang. What is it?
0.1%. No, 0.01%.
Oh. That's harrowing.
Yeah. It's crazy. Because basically
Jeez
the goal
Louise.
of resuscitation isn't actually necessarily... Like, if you restart the heart, great. That's awesome. But it's actually just to manually be circulating around the blood until someone can arrive with a defibrillator.
Oh my god.
That's the purpose of it.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. So basically, and tons of places don't have defibrillators.
No, and even if they do, you have to be pretty lucky because they're in some supermarkets, aren't they? And I know that they're pretty good because they talk you through it. They've got a robot voice.
Yeah.
I think Tom Scott did a video on the ones
He
that they were
did,
putting in
he
phone
did,
boxes.
yeah. That was actually with the St John's ambulance, I think.
Yeah, that's right. I remember the guy being on there. But yeah, that's a scary stat.
Yeah, but with a defibrillator, within the first minute, it's 90% chance that you'll leave hospital fine. And then it decreases by 10% every minute or so, basically.
Yeah, it's scary how if you imagine how you'd react in that situation where you needed to go and run and grab a defibrillator.
Yeah. It's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
do you feel good for having done it though?
Yeah, I've been kind of I've been going over it and kind of going, God, would I actually remember any of this stuff
That's what I was afraid of.
Because it's one day. It's like one day.
Yeah.
And then it's not like an exam or anything. It's just they kind of observe you during the day and then decide whether or not you're going to pass or not. And I don't know. I don't necessarily feel ready, to be honest.
Because I would always worry about that. I'd be like, oh God, what if? Cause I'm not very good at that kind of stuff. I'd overthink it or something like that, or
they do
not
give
be sure
you some.
if I should start.
They give you some. Yeah, but they give you tools for that. So you've got your primary and secondary assessment. So your primary assessment is Doctor CABC. So that's DRCABC. So D is scan for danger. So the environment where the person you're approaching to give first aid, is it hazardous to you and or them? Then R is for response. So is the person responding? So you kind of go over, you call their name, kind tell them to open their eyes, etc. And even like give them a bit of a jolt and just kind of see if that you can get a response. And then you've got C is catastrophic bleeding. So
oh god, see, I'd already be like, I'd have already lost track of this. I'd already lost track of this like acronym, and I'd be like, oh god, I don't know what.
I wrote it down, and I've been kind of reading over it every morning to remind myself.
You're a true hero.
So yeah, and then A is airways, B is breathing, and then C is circulation.
Dang.
So that's your primary assessment, and then your secondary assessment is sample. So this is the one I struggle to remember.
These are long acronyms as well.
So sample is signs and symptoms. So you kind of look at them for like what symptoms they've got. Like, are they clammy, sweaty, pale? That sort of thing. A is allergies. M medication. P past medical history. L lunch / meal. When was the last time they ate? What did they eat, etc. SAMP.
Just got one more E.
And I can't remember what the E is. In fact, hang on. I've got my notebook.
I'd have lost. I'm not very good at remembering acronyms, so I'd have just been like.
I think Dr. ABC isn't too bad. Or Dr. C ABC, and then sample.
I'd end up getting like mixed up with some of the other like acronyms I've been taught and been like, oh god, crap, what was one I need? Signs of life, Mrs. Nurg. M, I can't remember that one. R, respiration. S, sexual reproduction.
I don't think that's a key. Yeah, it's a E is event history, so I think that's kind of like what happened, basically. Yeah.
E, excretion.
Yeah, yeah. Have they shat themselves?
That was one of the ones from. I remember that was one of the ones from Mrs. Nurg.
Yeah. The other thing they taught us about. Have you heard of a? So this is a bit of an off topic, but I guess with like science and technology is the official category that we fall into on YouTube, at least.
Medicine.
Yeah. So did you know? So like when you picture like a seizure, yeah, you think like of someone shaking around, yeah.
I did not.
You didn't picture.
But that's
what did you picture?
Well, that's like the stereotype of a seizure, right?
Yeah.
But I know there's different.
Actually I think I can't remember the name, but I think it's like what's it?
Convulsions.
Convulsion seizure. Yeah.
Yeah, there's different types of seizure.
Then, there's also a type of seizure called an absent seizure.
Yeah.
And that's basically like it's literally like, when your computer just kind of the screen kind of goes all grey and it goes with the spinny thing.
Yeah.
It's a convulsing seizure is where basically there's just a load of random electrical signals firing around in your brain. It basically makes all your muscles and everything just fire off at random because your brain just doesn't know what to do. And that apparently you can actually act with up to like 3.5 times your usual strength, which is why they say don't.
Oh, wow.
That's why they say don't touch someone if they're having a seizure, because if they clatter you with their arm, they're gonna cause some damage.
That makes sense, right? Because the other thing is that, like, aren't you supposed to try and put like a wallet in their mouth? No,
you're supposed to. No, that's.
Oh,
do not
do that.
Literally, you just.
That's the worst thing to do.
Yeah, all you're supposed to do is basically, you have to just leave them.
So that was just fake news.
Yeah, you just have to like wait for it to stop. Maybe like put a blanket over them or put something under their head. To stop them banging their head on the floor, like something.
So that used to be a thing, didn't it? That is a thing that people did
used
believe
to be,
about the wallet thing.
But yeah.
But no, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that because you're likely to cause more damage than if you just didn't do that. But yeah, there's an absent seizure is basically the opposite, where it's basically all the electrical signals effectively just stop for whatever reason in your brain. So you literally just pause, and you could be stood up literally mid-sentence and just pause for a few seconds and then carry on, and you're completely unaware that it even happened.
Yeah, I did know that was a type of seizure that could happen.
Yeah, which is like, that's nuts, right?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
is there anything you need to do when that happens? Or
Move them away from any obstacle, try and get their attention, and to kind of
and
confirm
wait
that's
for them
what
to...
happened, and wait for them to come out of it, and then kind of, get it,
Dang.
and then sample signs and symptoms, go through it. Has it ever happened before, etc.? Like, have they got a condition that causes that? And then
is it
send them off to get checked out.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
So if you need... I was going to say if you need medical attention, call Ethan, but...
Please don't. Please don't.
But if you happen to be in the vicinity...
Yeah.
And... I want to say, it sounds cruel saying if there's no other option. If there's no other better trained option...
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, I'm not a first aider, I'm an emergency first aider. So I haven't got the full qualification, I'm an emergency first aider. So it's basically, if there's not someone more qualified, and it's like an absolute, so it's mainly for okay, someone's collapsed, or someone's having a seizure, that sort of thing.
It's like you're at work and someone collapses and then there's no one else there and you're the only person with them, you can do something.
Yeah, I know how to deal with a nosebleed, I guess. So I can, or like things like that, or I even actually know what to do if people get stabbed.
Dang.
Things like that we had to learn.
Hopefully
about that. That's the catastrophic bleeding part of it.
Oh god.
Yeah.
There you go, Ethan, the hero.
Yeah. So it was actually really interesting. I am glad I did it. I was quite apprehensive as someone who I definitely class myself as a hypochondriac. So
yeah,
I was quite apprehensive about doing it, but I actually I enjoyed it, the learning process of it. I do enjoy learning, and it was.
And now you're ready for ultimate frisbee.
I don't want to throw around wanky terms like empowering, but I feel like that maybe would be applicable.
The term hero has been
the term hero has been bandied about, and I wouldn't say that's entirely inappropriate. Really, I mean.
So ultimate frisbee, so if someone gets hit by the frisbee, you'll be springing into action.
It's like, what's that? You've got an egg on your head. Let me just go and get a bag of peas and a cold towel and put it over the top of the bag of peas and then put it on your head and.
Yeah, what's that? Oh, it looks like you about to tweak your shoulder a little bit there. Let's put you in the recovery position.
Oh, what's that? You've got a wound on your leg. Look, let me take a look at that. Oh, it's not catastrophic bleeding. I think we're going to need to put pressure on that and then clean it and put a bandage on and with.
That looks like a pretty nasty graze on that knee. Let's get the defib over and just give it a few jolts to make sure.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing they taught us how to. It was what's it called? Tourniquet. Showed us how to use that.
Oh yeah.
As well. But that's like an absolute worst case scenario.
Yeah, that's like more than catastrophic. That's
it's basically like if you can't stop the bleeding with pressure alone, and you've tried 3 times, that's when you get the tourniquet out, because basically as soon as you put it on and you've tightened it, you effectively that limb from below the point where you put the tourniquet on is gone. It can't be saved.
Oh god.
So there was a big movement to stop. They were actually banned for quite a while.
Oh my god.
In the UK, but they've been unbanned recently because basically people were just using them way too liberally. So people would have a finger amputated, and then they'd end up putting a tourniquet on below the elbow, and then they'd end up losing their entire forearm when they should have only just lost a finger.
Oh god! So someone at frisbee gets a bruise under their fingernail. You tie off the tourniquet at their shoulder.
Yeah, they lost their arm. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, because it cuts off blood supply. So you're effectively, as soon as you do that, you're effectively killing the limb. That's it.
Yeah, I guess. Like you say, just you try it and then.
Yeah, because it's so tight that it literally.
Yeah, that's the point, isn't it?
If it wasn't operated on, it would eventually just it would just wither up.
Well, if you're looking at playing ultimate frisbee in Ethan's area, maybe be extra careful.
Yeah, be extra. Yeah, if you get a cut, I will liberally use.
I will
liberally use the tourniquet.
Do not disclose any.
Definitely make sure that you don't get a cut on your head, because that might end badly.
Oh god. Yeah, just probably best to give that ultimate frisbee a miss. Actually, stick to the video games.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope you all learned something today listening. I don't.
Yeah, genuinely, do check that out. That I was going to say, listen to our podcast, but that's probably more important. Don't bother listening to the rest of this. Go and do that instead. Go and learn some first aid.
Yeah, do genuinely if you're interested. If you're working for someone, ask if you can be volunteered to put on a first aid. I definitely say it's a worthwhile skill to have, and
the advice we've shared also not for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
Get training from proper professionals.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not certified.
Yeah,
to train people.
don't go on our half-remembered acronyms and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not training. That was purely just off the top of my head. I'm not a professional. I am merely seek training from a professional, and
for more half-remembered topics, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, download,
follow,
illegally download.
Yeah, we don't care.
Share,
privateer our stuff.
Share to Facebook without credit. That's all good.
And remember to look out for Kieran in every Hyundai you see.
Yeah, go and bang on the window. If you do, illegally download our videos and then re-upload them to another platform without credit, that's fine. Put different characters on top. Overdub us.
If you lose a limb due to medical advice obtained through listening to this episode, make sure to go and tell Kieran about it as well when announce your dismay.
Toyotas, Hyundais, you'll find us.
Yeah. There's not many of them. They're not very common.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see you in the next episode. Every other Monday.
Every other Monday.
Yeah, every other Monday. We'll see you in the next one. A week on Monday. And join your local board game group.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe you'll meet me.
Yeah, maybe or bring a paintball gun just in case.
Yeah. And shoot me, and then I can use my first aid skills on myself.
Yeah, heal your own paintball inflicted wounds.
Okay.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.